Welcome back to Journal to Year podcast. We're starting a new series. Why doesn't anyone talk about this? And in our episode 11, we're talking about the emotional labor no one sees you carrying. Let me ask you something real simple. But most people won't answer it honestly. When was the last time you were fully not responsible for everything? Not the planning, not the remembering, not the checking in, not the fixing before it breaks, just existing without holding everything together. If you had to pause before answering that, this is the episode for you. Because today we're talking about something women live inside of every single day, but rarely name out loud: emotional labor. And more specifically, the emotional labor no one sees you carrying. Welcome back to Journal of the Year podcast. This is a space where we don't just talk about healing, we name the things that made healing necessary in the first place. And today's truth is this: you are tired in ways you can't always explain, because you're tired isn't just physical, it's mental tracking, it's emotional forecasting, it's remembering what everyone else forgets. It's anticipating what could go wrong before it happens. It's being the strong one without ever getting to turn it off. And the hardest part, most people benefit from your emotional labor without ever noticing it exists. Emotional labor isn't just about feelings, it's the invisible work of managing people's comfort, emotions, and needs, often at the expense of your own. It looks like remembering birthdays, appointments, school events, checking in on everyone else while nobody checks on you, sensing tension in a room and trying to fix it before it explodes, being the calm one even when you're overwhelmed, apologizing first just to keep peace, explaining yourself in a way that won't upset anyone, carrying conversations, relationships, and silence when others go distant. And here's the part no one talks about: you don't get praised for it, you just get expected to keep doing it. So over time, you don't even realize you're carrying it. You just call it being responsible. But responsibility without relief becomes exhaustion. Most women didn't choose emotional labor, they were trained into it. Maybe you were the daughter who had to be mature for your age. Maybe you were the one who kept the peace between parents. Maybe you learned early that love felt safer when you managed everything. So you adapted. You became the fixer, the listener, the peacekeeper, the emotional translator, the one who notices everything and says nothing. And somewhere along the way, people stop asking how you were because you get too good at functioning. But functioning is not the same as thriving, and being needed is not the same as being held. Here's what emotional labor costs you over time: you start to feel resentful, but you feel guilty for it. You start to feel tired, but you call it just life. You start to feel unseen, but you don't know how to explain why. The most dangerous part is that you start believing that if you stop carrying everything, everything will fall apart. So you keep going, even when you're empty, even when you're overwhelmed, even when you don't feel like yourself anymore. and you call it strength. But let's be honest, strength that never rests becomes survival. Healing starts the moment you realize something important. You're not responsible for managing everyone's emotional world. You can love people without carrying them. You can care without fixing. You can be present without overextending. And most importantly, you are allowed to be someone who is not always on. Because emotional labor becomes harmful when it's one sided, when you're the emotional support system, but nobody is supporting you, when you're the memory keeper, but nobody is remembering you, when you're the stabilizer, but nobody's stabilizing you. That imbalance is not your identity, it's your conditioning, and conditioning can be unlearned. I want you to sit with this honestly. Where in your life are you doing emotional work that no one acknowledges? Where are you overfunctioning just to keep things from falling apart? And what would happen if you stopped carrying what was never assigned to you? Not out of anger, but out of truth. Write this down. Question one: what emotional labor do I carry daily that goes unnoticed? Question number two: who benefits from my overfunctioning? Question three: what do I fear would happen if I stop being the responsible one? Question four: where in my life am I confusing love with labor? Question five: what would rest look like for me emotionally, not just physically? If no one has told you this clearly, you are allowed to put things down. You are allowed to stop anticipating everyone's needs. You are allowed to be the emotional backbone in every space you enter because you are not here to carry everyone. You are here to live. And living requires space where you are not always holding everything together. This is Journal to Ear podcast, and this is your reminder. What you've been calling just being strong might actually be you carrying too much alone. Until next time.